Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the episode. And today I am going through my camping setup. So grab your coffee. Let's go check it out. So the vehicle that I use, and I've been using it for a couple years now, is a 2018 Toyota 4Runner. And there was many reasons why I chose this vehicle. First and foremost is it had all the equipment that I wanted. As the TRD off-road version, it has the rear locker, it has the A-track, and that's going to allow me to get to the places that I want to get to. The whole point of the 4Runner was not only could I get to those locations, but before I had the rooftop tent, before I had the awning, all that stuff, I was able to sleep in back of my vehicle. I would just put up a simple army cot in the back and I could crawl in there at night. If it got too cold out, especially during the winter months, I would simply turn the vehicle on for about an hour, let that heater wind up, and I always slept comfortable. But as time went on, I wanted something a little bit different, and this was kind of right at the beginning of the whole overlanding scene. Now, I never wanted to be an overlander. To me, I always wanted to be able to get to the location, set up, and be able to capture a sunrise and a sunset photo, being as close as I could to that possible location. So the rooftop tent allows me to do that. The rooftop tent that I am using is the Tupui Tuna 3. And after a lot of research, I chose this one because not only is it a 4-season tent, but it came with the awning attached. A lot of the other rooftop tents, if you wanted the awning, you had to purchase that separately. Now that being said, the price really came out to be the same as most other rooftop tents, but I like the fact that it came with it. That was the reason why I chose that one. Now there are other rooftop tents on the market that you can get that allow for faster setup, and while this one that I am using currently doesn't offer the speediest of setup or breakdown times, it does well enough for me. So the awning is something that I don't always set up, but I do in the winter months, and I went ahead set it up today for two reasons. One, I wanted to show you guys what it's like while having it on, and two, even though we're in the springtime, I checked the weather before coming out here, and we're still going to get temperatures from the low to mid 30s, and that's going to be a little bit chilly of a night. And now with two people in the tent, you're still going to get plenty of warmth in there, but with one person it can get a little frigid. So what I do is I set up a little buddy heater. Now, I chose buddy heaters over, these new diesel heaters and everything else, is because of the simplicity. Diesel heaters take time to set up. You have to have an external power source. With a buddy heater, you simply screw in the can and you're good to go. What I love about the buddy heater is you can hook it up to a 20-pound or 15-pound propane tank, and that's great because now you have enough fuel to last all night. So while the 4Runner in and of itself is a very, very capable vehicle, I did do some modifications with mine just to give myself a little extra breathing room when I'm going to trails that are, well, a little bit more sketchy than not. Now, I'm not exactly an off-roader by myself. I don't take my vehicle out just to see what it can do. But the whole idea behind the modifications was I needed to get to where I wanted to go. So with that in mind, I installed a Bilstein 1.5-inch lift kit. I'm using the 5160s in the front and the 6120s in the rear, and I find that those are excellent shocks. And not only did it raise the total ground clearance up for me, what it also did was to really firm up that ride. The 4Runner is notorious for having soft springs, and while that might be more comfortable on the road, I wanted something a little bit firmer. So the Bilstein kit really did that to me. In addition, with the Bilstein kit, I'm also running one size larger tires. The 4Runner comes with 265/70 R17s. I went up one size to the 265/75 R17s, and that's going to give me just a little bit more ground clearance too. And so lastly, after about a year with the rooftop tent, which I absolutely loved, I decided to go ahead and get an awning for my vehicle. I wanted that little bit of shade, because sometimes when I'm out and about, especially like if my wife was with me or my brothers are with me or just whatever, sometimes we want to pull off on these paths and just have a quick dinner. Well, the awning provides great shade, whereas you can just deploy it one person in less than 2 minutes, set everything up, and now you have shade for your cooking or anything else. And more recently, this past fall, I was out in Idaho elk hunting with a couple different people, and we found that it was great for the rain. We could fit 4 people underneath of it while we were getting, you know, a decent amount of rain. We didn't have a lot of side wind or anything like that, but you know, just a good old rain. And having that awning out was great, because now we can just all gather around the cooker while we're eating, swap stories, and relax for the night. So the awning that I'm using now is the Overland awning. Now, initially I wanted an ARB, but I purchased this awning last spring. Now that was kind of the height of the COVID selection, and a lot of people were, to escape the virus and everything like that, they were going out and camping, and you know, I think that's great for the most part, but everybody was buying up all these name brand outdoor gear. So I took a chance. I didn't know really anything about Overland or their products, but their reviews were good on Amazon, and I'm super happy that I got it, because it has been just wonderful to have. So now that you guys have seen my basic camping setup, I think it's time to go ahead, get the wood out, and start prepping for tonight's campfire. Okay, now I got the campfire prepped for tonight. I've been getting a lot of questions on what kind of outdoor equipment that I use. So for my first knife, this is kind of my do-all camp knife. This is a knife by Bark River. It's called the Marauder, and this one has a custom handle by a friend of mine. I sent it in to him, and he put the custom handle on it for me. But this is just a fantastic knife, and I picked this knife because it has a thick tang on it, and it's really good for batoning wood. Anytime I know I'm going camping, or if I'm going to start a fire or just do any type of heavy lifting, the Marauder is always with me. Now, as far as pocket knives goes, kind of my EDC knives, a lot of you have seen this one. This is the Little Canadian, again by Bark River, and I usually have either this one with me or a Hess, which is another knife maker from Michigan. This is the Hess Mini Caper, And these are just great little knives that I keep in my pocket. And so if I ever have to cut something, you know, a piece of string or whatever, that's what they do. And my newest collection is the Little Canadian. And as you guys see, I'm kind of obsessed with Michigan made knives, and I haven't really had a chance to use this one too heavy, aside from cutting open Mountain Men packets and stuff like that. This is a great knife, and I love carrying this around. Nice and light, extremely sharp, as with all Bark River knives. They are very, very sharp. But this is, I think, going to be one of my favorite. I love how it feels in the hand, and just a great little knife. As far as axes go, this is the Holt Broke felling axe, and this one's kind of cool because every year they send so many axes to Bark River, and Bark River will put on a speed grind on it. It's meant to kind of help out with American hardwood, and so it's not only stamped made in Sweden, it's got that little Bark River logo on it, so that's pretty cool. And of course, for many, many years, for actual splitting work, I just use the Fisker splitting axe. I've had this one for many, many years. It's almost as sharp as the day I bought it and does the job well. Now, some of you have seen this bow saw, and I found this on eBay. It's made by Bone Valley, and I think they're out of Massachusetts. It's just a great little saw that I can fold up, and especially in the wintertime if I'm hiking many, many miles away and I want a little fire to kind of keep me warm while I'm waiting for a sunset or a sunrise. I usually bring this one so I can cut some wood. I find that this saw, sorry for the wind guys, but I find that this saw along with the Bark River Marauder is an excellent, excellent carry if you're going out hiking and want to build a small little fire. So with all that stuff done, you know, I got my camp set up, I got the fire prepped. I think it's time to go do a short little jaunt and see if we can catch a photo for tonight. Well, I decided to make my last coffee for the night, but it's getting a little chilly out, and there's nothing that beats a hot cup of coffee and good campfire. Which is funny and ironic because I was just talking to David Sargent, another photographer who is, let's just say that he's quite the coffee buff, and he was telling me about all his home brews and, you know, different coffee grinds that he's been using. Today just bought a really fancy new grinder. I'm just having some Starbucks Instant. I immediately told him, hey, let's go camping sometime. Might be a little difficult. He's in Michigan. I'm in Washington. Literally one country apart, but you know, Dave, this cup's for you, bud. Well, guys, I think that's going to do it for me tonight. Got everything packed away, got the fire out, I got the buddy heater on. Before I head in for the night, I'm going to finish reading my book. It's Cold by Lawrence McKinley Gould. He was a professor at U of M back in the 20s, and he accompanied Admiral Byrd to the Antarctic expedition. But like I said, I'm going to sit down, read my book for a little while, maybe watch a couple more episodes of The Mandalorian, and you know, it's 35 degrees outside, it's probably about 65 in here. I can tell you right now I'm not going to need all this stuff, but yep, we'll catch you guys in the morning. Well, good morning, everyone. Slept pretty good last night. Got down to about 30, but I'm up now, so it's time to go ahead, pack down. Well, guys, that's going to do it for me. Once again, I thank you for coming along on this adventure. Hope you guys found some insight into this, into how I camp the way I do and why I camp the way I do. I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, you know, please give me a like, a subscribe, comment down below, and we'll catch you outdoors.